Hey guys, so I wanted to record a quick little screencast to wrap up the year and say goodbye to you guys. And I'm also going to make this double as a little bit of a recap of everything we've done this year, just so you can think about this class and the way that you've grown as students on a larger scale. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys was this graphic that I found that I thought was really cool, because one thing I'm going to mention to you a couple times throughout this presentation is that I really want to make sure that you are remembering that you guys as English learners and as multilingual students, you really do have you're lucky. You have a huge heads up over other students, and I want you to think about your status as English learners not as a challenge or as a roadblock or something you've had to overcome, but as a power, as a real benefit to you. Because I took Spanish in high school for 2 years, and I only know a few words and phrases at this point in my life, and I really, really wish that I was bilingual, and I'm really jealous and proud of you guys for what you've done learning a new language. So just want to start off by saying that. All right, so taking a look at our year, we started off at the very beginning of the year with our personal narratives. And the whole idea, the whole purpose of the personal narrative unit was to tell a story. And it was also kind of a get to know you part of our year, because a narrative is just another word for a story. But it was also to teach you guys to write with dialogue. Remember those little quotation marks where you read a story and the characters are talking. In case you ever want to do any more sort of creative writing or storytelling, there's very specific formats. So we did that. And also to write in a very detailed way, to do what we call show not tell. So to really paint a picture, if you went to Disneyland and that's what your story was about, or if you flew from Taiwan to the United States, showing your reader the sights and the smells rather than just saying, oh yeah, I went to the airport and it was really boring, and then I got to the US and then we went to our house. Showing not telling. All right, a little further into the year, we did our TED Talks. This was all centered around the topic of technology, and of course it was your first speech of the year, so that might have been difficult for a lot of you, but you guys did a really great job with these. I really enjoyed watching them. Some of you recorded them, some of you did them in class, and the whole point was for you to form an argument. This is the first time you did an argument this year, and you had to argue something about technology. Are self-driving cars a good thing or a bad thing? Are robots positive or negative, right? You remember that? And then you had to find evidence from some reliable sources, put that into your presentation, and then do a counter argument too. Mention how somebody who disagreed with you might state their argument and then show why yours is stronger. So that was the whole purpose of the TED Talk. I strongly encourage you guys to keep watching TED Talks. They're always coming out with new ones, and they're really a great way to learn. Then we did what's probably my favorite unit, because I studied art history in college, our art analysis unit. And we went over a lot of vocabulary and ways to talk about and describe art. You know, our warm colors, cool colors, perspective, things like that. And then we talked about message and meaning, how to look at a piece of art and not just say, you know, well, it's a painting of some mountains, but what do you think the artist was trying to say? Something like that might just be about the beauty of nature, right? Art could be more political. It could be more personal, right? It could tell the story of a great loss in somebody's family, a struggle that they overcame, right? And then in your essays, you had to describe those pieces of art in great detail and really help the reader see the painting for what it is, and also to learn the deeper message of the painting. All right, and then we just finished up, and this became a little longer because of our shelter in place. We just finished up our human behavior research unit. We watched the Stanford Prison Experiment, the Milgram Experiment. We talked about advertising and social groups and how we influence one another, and learning about the psychology behind all of these things, why people behave the way they do. And then you wrote your own research question. We worked hard at making sure you knew how to write a research question, and then we edited those and made those strong. Then you took that research question, you conducted interviews with people who you thought might have an answer to your questions, and then you wrote your APA-style research paper. And those turned out really nice, so congratulations and good work on those. They were really fun to read over the last week as I finished up reading and grading those. All right, and then to finish up the year, in place of the speech competition, which would have been my absolute favorite day of the year, and I think you guys would have gotten a lot of first and second places if I'm just being honest, you're a strong class. Instead of doing that and going to the speech competition, I got to have you guys record those so that you could do it in the comfort and space of your own home and still do the speeches because it's such an important unit. You got to record those on your own time. Pick a topic, any topic you wanted, and I'm going to be watching those over the next couple days. I haven't watched those yet, so I'm really looking forward to finishing up the semester by watching your speeches. Those were speaking skills that are going to be valuable to you guys in all of your classes moving forward, and hopefully you enjoyed doing them and you picked a topic that you were passionate about. So before we say goodbye, just some parting thoughts that I have for you guys. Again, I want you to remember to view your status as an English learner as a power, not as a disadvantage. If you're keeping up with the news and you're aware at all of what's going on right now, there's a lot of civil unrest. There's a lot of unhappy people in our country right now, very angry about the way that some racial minorities have been treated by law enforcement. People are very angry and very fired up. And there's a lot of change happening, and a lot of that is coming from the young people in our country. And so I'm not going to tell you how to believe. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I want to encourage you to find your voice and find what it is you believe and what it is you want to say. And go out and say it, and form your own opinions and say them with conviction. And my last thing is never stop learning. That one really kind of speaks for itself. Just always be curious and always try to find new things to learn, and read for fun, which kind of leads me to my next one. This is a list of my some recommendations for summer reading. If you would like to pause this and take a look at any of these, if you want to read for fun during the summer, here's just a little list I put together. So if you want some of my recommendations, here they are. Some of them are more books that I've loved for a long time, and some of them are brand new, books that I've just read in the last couple months. So here's a quick list of my recommendations. And the very last thing that I want to share with you guys here, as it's loading, let me see if I can just minimize it here. Well, I'll just show you the small version, so I don't take up too much of your time. This is a quote from a book that I've read recently. This is the title of the book right here. It's a really amazing little book. It actually only takes about 15-20 minutes to read. I encourage you to check it out. And it says, "One of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things." And that, I think, goes for everything that's happening in the world right now, from the coronavirus and how we've been sort of trapped in our homes, and probably, again, been pretty bummed out from time to time, but everything is really, how you react to it. And that is some advice that I can leave you with moving forward. So it's been a great year. You guys have been a really fun class. I'm going to miss you a lot, and hopefully we'll be back on campus soon, and come visit me next year, and take care, and hope you have a good summer. Bye, guys.